Can you hear us okay?
I can. I can see you and I can hear you.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, I think maybe we got it.
Somebody else.
Oh, hello, there's somebody.
Is that
That's
Robert back
Sally.
there?
Sally.
Hi, Sally.
And must be Robert.
Hi, Sally.
Hello. Who do
Is
we
that
have?
Robert?
We have Michelle,
Oh,
And
Hi,
Bob.
Bob.
Bob. Hey.
and I'm Jane. Yeah, there we go.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. We're listed as Maggie May because that's what he called me when we first met.
Well, this we're opened a lot easier than the last time I used Zoom.
Good. Good. I'm glad. So we're probably just gonna give it about a minute, maybe two, before we start, and I'll let you guys. We'll probably have you mute yourselves. Every time that somebody's microphone picks up, it causes an issue on this end for you guys to
Squeal.
hear us.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Just, I mean, I'll probably say that again.
I don't see any way to do that on the page here.
Okay, it should be to the very left-hand side at the bottom.
Oh,
There's a little microphone, and if you there's like a little carrot, I think they call it, and you can push it.
Mute.
no, there's not anything like that on the screen I'm looking at. There's information at the top that says post attendee Zoom, and then there's a forward and backwards clickables, and it says Zoom, and down at the corner it says Maggie May, and I don't know how to move my
All right. So it looks like Maggie May muted.
but that's the only thing I'm seeing.
It looks like, hi, Peter.
There's no clickables for
Okay.
me.
Wait, Jane, I
Yes.
found it in the same place you told me how to fix my audio.
Okay.
And now
All
I'm
right.
gonna mute again.
Oh, you want me to mute it?
Yeah, well, that'd be good because that way you can hear us better.
Yeah,
If
okay.
everybody's
All
microphone,
right, I will do that. Now we're muted.
yeah, see, then it's like we're fighting for.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me now? Okay, I am not muted at this point.
Yeah, when I clicked on mute, I couldn't hear you.
Whoa, that's interesting.
Well, that's how that works.
No, muted means is that we can't hear you. You can still hear us.
Yeah, but no, well, that's not how that works on the computer. On the computer here, when you mute the device, it turns off my ability to hear what's coming through.
Okay. Yeah, if you have to leave it on, then I guess just know that if there's any noise, ambient noise, that it will detract from what we're doing here.
Yeah, there's no ambient noise. I live alone. I don't have pets. Nobody makes noise here but me.
Hi, Anna. Nice to see you.
Hi. Nice to see you too. Is this Robert I'm seeing back here?
Yeah, I'm about to introduce him. Yeah. Let's see what time is it. Okay, I wanted to maybe give a minute or two for everybody else to join, and then we're going to go ahead and get started.
Okay.
I guess I'll introduce myself. I guess I can sit down. Did I move the camera? No? All right. So my name's Sally Love. Thanks everybody for joining. Robert is a friend of mine, and I guess my mentor in many ways. And we were talking about drumming and the need for people to inner journey right now, and thought that this would be a great offering for people to learn how to do this for themselves. And so what do let's see, I am, okay. Woo! I'm a divine conduit. I do readings and healings, various different modalities, and that's about it. That's what I do. But I came to introduce Robert, and I'm really glad that he's joining us to share his experiences with the drum with us. And he is actually a traditional shaman. So all of his learning has come through the elders. Is that the best way to say that?
Truly.
But he's also classically trained as a drummer, musician, And so he has that background too. Also works as a massage therapist, energy worker, all kinds of, he's got lots of different modalities that he pulls from in his practice. And yeah. Did I leave anything out?
No, I think you're good. Thank you.
Yeah.
The little white space thing, can we get,
Yeah, sorry.
thanks you guys for being patient. This technical stuff is still a little new to me.
All right.
I had problems with it too, Robert, when I first used it.
And you're a tech person.
I know.
Well, I wanted to talk about a couple of things. In the traditional ways, I'm Robert, and my spirit name is Gleat Heen, which is Tlingit for power of the whitewater. And I earned all the ways through the elders. So I did it in the old traditional way. The drum is special, and I wanted to do a special class on that because it's needed now in our society. Let's see. One thought too is Sally graciously introduced me as shaman. Over the years, it's been a little hard for me to hear that because it's been a word that's been kind of broken down a lot. Originally, it was a word from the slopes in Russia, and it meant somebody that works with energy and that kind of thing, which is accurate. But I follow in my elders' traditional ways, and that is that I would just say I'm Robert, and I wouldn't call myself a medicine person or any of that. People outside of me can. You can call me that, but I cannot call that to myself. And the reason for that is the humility of the energy coming through. So, so that's why I wanted to mention the idea of shaman is you can call me that, but I won't call me that.
He does.
Do you remember, Robert, the fellow who would go, I am a shaman?
Right.
Do you remember him?
You won't see me do that. I don't have.
Well, even when I refer to him as that, he's kind of like.
Oh no, yeah, it's hard to hear. Yeah, it's true.
Right. So to get right into it, because yes.
One other thing, we are going to be recording this. I just want to let everybody know, just for privacy purposes, I guess, that this will be a recorded session. I know we're sending it to some people in France.
Yeah.
And might go out further than that, but I just wanted to let everybody know. So also, we are not able to read comments in the chat, so don't do that. But if you have any questions at the end, we're probably not going to be taking a lot of questions throughout because our time is so short. But if you have questions for us, feel free to email us, and we will definitely respond to you.
Yeah, we'll answer back. Sure.
All right.
And so she's gonna, I've asked her to light the candle because the women are the keepers of the fire. And I don't want to go into that teaching right now, but suffice it to say. Every ceremony has to have fire. There's only one ceremony that doesn't. And again, I won't go into the depth of that. But every ceremony that we do has to have fire. And now she's lighting the smudge, which is, in this case, sage from Eastern Washington. And we'll get going with that. I'm going to start to talk mainly because of the time frame. So this is a medicine drum. And as long as we're speaking medicine, I want to point out medicine in the old ways was power. So you might hear somebody say, that man's got a lot of medicine, which really means that he's powerful. His power doesn't come from a political situation or nepotism. It comes from his relationship to the Creator, the grandfathers, and the Mother Earth. That's where the power comes from. So you might see someone, an old timer over in the corner, he's the power. He has the relationship. He may have other people in front of him doing the work, but he's the juice. So when we speak medicine, we're speaking of power and the relationship that you have with grandfathers, the creator, the Mother Earth. We might just say relationship to the unseen. Now, given that, one of the things that I'm seeing in our culture right now is we've gotten very cerebral, real prefrontal cortex, and we think that that much more information is going to create wisdom. Information does not necessarily translate to wisdom. Wisdom is an amalgam of information as well as the spirit side of things, the unseen, the intuitive, those kinds of things. And so that mesh is very, very important. The problem I see in our culture right now is we don't have that. We have lots of data. Get on the computer and you can be just completely flooded with information of maybe dubious sorts. That's why you saw me say I've earned these ways through the elders and that, because, and I can name the elders if you need that. It's important to know where your sources are. It isn't somebody, you know, just making stuff up. This is not, these medicines are not make it up as you go. These go back thousands and thousands of years with people that have had thousands and thousands of experiences that they then share with the people. You all are here for a good reason. There was a calling inside you to consider the drum. Somebody's not muted. So I want to point out, in this case, this is Dr. Leahy, this is my family, Eagle Clan killer whale. And so the drum, let's look at how this is made. If you look carefully, you'll see this is wood. The medicine of wood is honesty. The medicine of wood is honesty. The medicine of this skin, an animal taken in a proper way, the medicine of that animal comes with the skin. Consequently, this drum, this is an eagle, an elk drum, and it has the wood. Honesty is an important part of our medicine, always, all of us. So given that, what we're after here is some people will play a drum specifically to pound on. As Sally said, I was classically trained to play Western music, and I've seen drums being played, you know, for recreation. I'm suggesting today that we're going to use these drums specifically to be able to communicate with the unseen.
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but Rita came in, the new person. Can you mute her, because I really want to be able to, and it's creating interference. Thank you.
Thanks. Didn't know I was in.
We're doing a little.
All right, there we go. I think I was able to mute everybody.
Okay, cool. So the drum, as I said, wood, honesty, the medicine of the animal it came from. Now, this is a pretty traditional drum to be used, you know, in medicine situations. I use it for healing work. It can be used for a number of things. I'm going to show you a different drum. This drum is buffalo. Notice it's two-sided. And this is used specifically in the sweat lodge because if I used my drum, my other drum, in the lodge with the moisture there, it would go flat very quickly. This will stay going through all 4 rounds of the lodge. So this is a different style of drum. Sally's got her drum. Notice that the construction is slightly different. And yet it's what's the end?
That's deer.
A deer hide. So when you consider the medicine of deer, buffalo, elk, that is incorporated in the medicine that you're holding, and that you can develop that relationship. So let's see. One of the, I'll play this in a minute, but I want to suggest to you that actually there's not just woo-woo, there's scientific basis for the reason this works. Our cranium has inside it a corpus callosum, which is very, very tough connective tissue that works between the hemispheres and also at the cerebellum level. And what's interesting, and I don't know when people started figuring this out, we figured it out thousands of years ago. But the corpus callosum is not just a structure to hold the hemispheres. It's a tympanic structure. So it vibrates like a drum, but it vibrates with the frequencies around you. And people have said, for instance, we have free will. The free will we have is what frequency are you going to vibrate with in the corpus callosum that then absolutely informs the rest of you. So this will help you understand that we can go in an altered state of the unseen. We can connect, and the deeper that connection is with grandfathers, with the Mother Earth, you know, the deeper your power, your internal power, your own internal medicine. And right now we have people who feel very powerless. That's why I'm doing this. We need to, and the other thing is drums are important that way. This is a rattle. It does different things. It does very different medicine than, say, a drum. Australia uses click sticks. It doesn't specifically matter too much except of where you want to go. What do you want to do? The rhythm, now I'll show you some strikers. This is bear, okay? Now, if I'm in a public setting, I might use this. If I'm in a private setting, just for me, I'll use that bear and listen. The reason that you're listening to different parts of this drum is that the drum is going to vibrate, and really functionally the medicine of the vibration is not the strike. It's not that. In fact, traditional people as well as classical people, you don't strike down into the drum. You strike off the drum. You pull the sound out, like so. So with the bear, for instance, I can pull that sound out. Now, the strike is important to get this to vibrate, but the actual medicine of the drum is the vibratory thing afterwards, because that's what connects to the corpus callosum, makes you altered, you move into the unseen, have a deeper relationship. So in a little bit, I'm gonna drum you out and bring you back so that you have a sense of how to do that. But I wanted you to know that there's actual scientific reasons or medical reasons that this works because of the corpus callosum. Let's see. Different strikers will do different things. See, that's very hard. And then the bear. You get to choose. You get to feel what that is for you. Now, I'll show you the etiquette with the drum. Usually I'll have a candle or some fire going. I'll smudge if I need to. And then the tempo that the nervous system, the corpus callosum, responds to, the tempo is critical. It's between 2 and 3 beats a second, which is fairly quick. If you If you strike slowly, it will put you somewhere else. It will calm you down. You'll breathe in slower and you'll take that medicine in. Now the medicine to go into a portal to work with the unseen is about like this. I'll do it this way. It's about the tempo. And it'll immediately, well, maybe not immediately, but it will start to alter you in such a fashion that then you can begin to start seeing vision. Now, visions are not fantasy. This is not, we're not looking for fantasy land. We're looking for actual visions that your spirit, perhaps spirits around you, can give you to guide you in these times when we need the wisdom. So one thing you might consider is maybe you have a question. How am I to change my business? How am I to relate to my partner? You put that question in the prefrontal cortex and then you drum it. And what will happen is you'll get some very, very different answers than you might think. Those you must consider in your decision making. Those add a component of wisdom to the data. And that's what you have a drum for. That's why you have click sticks. That's why in all the ancient cultures, there was a way to create that tempo so that you can get at these other sources of information and wisdom. So let's see. I think I'm going to use this guy. So one of the things that's necessary is that you breathe your spirit in. You've heard in spiritus, ex spiritus, which is Latin for breathing in and breathing out. It's not by accident, it's spiritus, because when you breathe in, you're breathing in your spirit. And when we live out in this culture, there's a lot of times that our spirit's not inhabiting us completely. Trauma versus traffic. Trauma, you look at the news, sometimes that's traumatic. So when you're doing this work, honestly, you need to be honest to oneself. What's going on for me? That's one thing. The other is to breathe your spirit deeper into you. And that's simply in, the formula is where you put your intention and where you put your breath. So if you're breathing in, you breathe all the way down to the bottom of you. And that will move the energy. Intention plus breath moves the energy. So before you start, you could light a candle, you can smudge, which gets you in that right set of mind. And then when you're ready, you breathe in deeper, deeper, deeper until you have a sense of self. You're with yourself. The next thing would be, we will start working with the drum. So I think that's pretty good. I think so what I'd like to do is about 5 minutes of drumming for you. I'll drum you out. And so very first, I want you to close your eyes and breathe in your spirit. Breathe yourself in and get calm. And just be at ease. And whatever you get as a vision is whatever you get. There's no judgment in this, you know. And then what I'm going to do is start, and I'm going to move right to that tempo that creates the portal. So take your breath in, close your eyes, get at ease. This is the drum. Some of you may have felt your heart open, which would be like your chest starts to feel warm. You may have other physicalities that occur for you. Uh, and I cut that a little short because I think we can do it again. I check our time. Are we okay?
14 more minutes.
Okay. So I may drum you out again, but the function of that with the first 4 beats being slow orients the soul, spirit body and the psyche and all that. And then you move to that portal and have your experience. And then when I drummed you back, that was those 4 beats. Now, the critical thing is it's a lot of people in our culture really want to be out of their bodies, which is okay for them. But the bottom line is we have to be in our bodies. We sent ourselves here to be in bodies. So one of the things when you drum yourself out is to make sure that you drum yourself back in. So one of the things that's very simple to do is when you breathe in again, but exhale out through your feet as if you were exhaling right out of the bottoms of your feet. Now, what happens is there's a medicine to that. And the energy of the Mother Earth will move in through the bottoms of your feet and you'll be grounded. Also, you can sense your fingers and your toes to make sure that you're fully inhabited.
You can wiggle them a little bit.
Yeah, you can wiggle them. Just feel them. Feel yourself being fully inhabited again. It's totally fine to go out there, but you want to make darn sure you get back. A lot of times when I put people out to fast, which is kind of we don't call it a vision quest, but you know, you're out there. One of the things I tell people is you got to bring the map back or it's useless. So functionally, you're going to go out, you're going to get information, but you got to bring it back and you got to embody it. The key now in this culture we're living in is a lot of people do not want to be embodied. They do not want to feel. So you get to feel and bring that back. That's solid information. That's good for you. It may be good for your family members or clients or customers or patients. But that's the key. That's why you add this drum in as a dimension to your medicine.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
So when you're actually out, you know, and you're getting messages, I just wanted to add that some people see things, right, in their inner. Other people might hear things, and yet other people might feel. And so, you know, wow, you know, like what you were saying in your job, maybe that's not going to, you know, that doesn't really align, and you're going to feel that strongly, and that's your information through feeling. And then others get knowings.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, depending on which way you receive information, you need to be open to any and all of those, any information coming in any of those ways. So I just wanted to add that. Not everybody's going to see. Yeah, so not everybody's going to see what's, you know, pictures. Some people might hear something, other people might feel something, other people might know something. And so just be open to any of those. So. Sorry.
We have a little technical
There we go.
thing. Okay, cool. And remember, the key thing is that honesty is honesty to self in this case. So you take whatever comes in. You know, I drummed somebody one time and they saw a dinosaur. Okay, you know, dinosaurs are cool. At any rate, if you focus your intention on, yeah, I need to know something about such and such, there's a good chance that'll define what's going on. Now,
Sally and Robert,
yeah.
I'm sorry to barge in, but we couldn't hear the drum during the middle of it. I couldn't. My husband couldn't. I don't know if anybody else could, but it was like your drumming went mute. I just couldn't hear it.
Okay.
But
all right.
I have to drum a little louder on this one.
Should I drum louder? I don't know. Can you hear this? Could you hear that?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, there was that plane that went over.
That's true. Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
can,
maybe.
you can hear this now, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. We had a, right, the cabin, over the cabin is a final approach to Payne Field. So
Oh.
sometimes we get some big
Okay.
coming over, and
Yeah.
they're definitely not Cessnas. Okay, so
Okay. I'm going back on mute.
okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thanks.
Let's see. So we've talked about the physiology and how this works. We've talked about how the drum creates that field of energy. We've also talked about how the will gets to choose. You get to choose the frequency. If you are choosing fear, you're going to have that frequency, and that's what's going to vibrate the corpus callosum and inform you. If you move from that to other levels of frequency, you get to choose. That's your free will. So the drum just gives you a portal into a different way of being. You can use this at times for ancestors. You can talk with all kinds of things. And again, it isn't one-stop shopping. You'll have to work at it a little bit until you get the sense of it, and all of a sudden things will just start coming to you. It's very, very easy. It isn't a plug-in, you know, the drum is not a plug-in. So I want to drum you again.
We've got about 7 minutes till we're cut off. So
Okay. Well, they said that thing about 40 minutes. Did you see that?
we're 7
Oh,
minutes.
okay. So I'm going to drum you again, and then we'll wrap up. So so go ahead, breathe in, quietly breathe in, and what does that say? Breathe in, and I'm going to drum you again, and just see where it takes you. Okay. Just easily breathe yourself back in. Feel your feet. Feel your fingers. Take your time. For some, you can write down what you saw if that's important to you. Just register what it was you saw or felt, or again, as Sally said, it can be kinesthetic. You can feel something. It doesn't always have to be a vision like a movie.
I just saw color. I
Yeah.
just had like indigo, boom, all in the screen. So I was like,
And so that can be the case. It can be things that initially feel inscrutable. It's like, what the heck was that? Just log it in, and the next time you're working, more and more will come to you, and that'll be the way that you start to develop a relationship and create a portal for wisdom.
Or like what you said, if a dinosaur does come in, there's medicine around that.
Yeah.
So then you research, what does that mean? Or for me, to have violet light come in, what does that mean? What different things are associated with violet light, and why might I be getting that as a message right now? Which I know, but right.
Right.
So, you know, you might think, that wasn't really much, but yet it might snowball into more and more and more information just off of something really basic.
What much time do we have?
2 minutes, 2 and something.
So normally in a traditional setting, we'd have opening remarks and we'd have closing remarks. We don't have the time to do that. So I was thinking at another time, maybe in a month, we'll throw out an invitation, and people can we can get together again and work developing the portal and that kind of thing, or some other teachings. I'm going to be doing a lot more teaching now with translucent, the use of the unseen to help with manifestation, fifth dimension stuff and like that. But I thought it was important for us to have a means, some kind of means, to be able to begin to vision and see and use other means. So that's why I wanted to do this today. We have all your emails. If you don't want to be contacted, let us know. But otherwise, we'll let you know if we do this in a month. This was just sort of a trial, as you can see. So
we have about a minute and a half left.
A minute and a half. I sure appreciate all of you. And we are in a stage in this culture where we're going to need to, all of us are going to need not only to be together and connect with one another, but we're going to be connecting out in a larger tribe because of the necessity of the wisdom being used in our culture now versus just being run over. So I sure appreciate you being here.
Comment. As soon as you started drumming, you blanked out again. Michelle and I are both well versed in drumming, and you've added quite a bit to what we understand. But again, you just, as soon as you started drumming, it went mute. So
it didn't exactly go mute. I think it was because your drum was turned away from the laptop. I don't know. I could barely hear it. I could discern a little bit of the beat, but I couldn't really hear it.
Okay.
Maybe that's a technical problem there.
I couldn't hear it at all because when you turned it like this toward you, and then I didn't hear anything after that. Yeah. When it was turned like this and you were going, dun, 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 I could hear that. And then you turned it and then it was completely silent.
So there must be a dampener or something that drops in.
It's about the mics. You really have to have the mics. And a lot of the people I know that do borons and things like, they put the mic inside of the drum. That works.
Okay. Cool.
Well, I think we're about done.
We're about there. So we'll contact with you guys later this month.
If you have any questions, go ahead and email us.
Yeah, definitely email.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Blessings. Aho.
Oh.
Aho. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks.
Next time we'll meet you.
We'll play
There you go.
Maybe in person, right?
Right.
For sure.
Right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I can figure out how to do